For my band challenge book, I chose Of Mice and Men by John Steinbeck. The Lexile number is 630L. The reading level is 8th through 12th. It is banned for having a lot of profanity and racism and even murder, and it is an interesting book. After I read it, I kind of understood why it was banned. It's about two men, one very large man and another man who, the large man does not understand his size and often kills things when he touches them and is too rough without knowing it. Or the two men leave to go find work in other places. This is right around pre-Depression period, I think. So they leave to bounce from place to place to try to find work. Their dream is to have their own farm one day where the one character, the very large Lenny, can have a rabbit he can pet, because every time he pets something, he kills it. But they eventually make their way to a farm where they get jobs, and along with other characters, start discussing finding their own farm and buying their own land. And a couple characters want to help and join in. Well, Lenny, the very large man, happens to grab a lady's dress, and they think that he's trying to rape her because he can't let go. And so they flee and find another farm that they're working on, and they get a couple characters that want to help them out. And there's a black man that they become friends with, and that's where a lot of the racial slurs come in. And in the book, he does make it so that you see that there's more to the man than the color of his skin. But towards the end of the book, the character ends up breaking the neck of one of the farmhand's wife, and so he runs away, and his friend ends up having to shoot him because he knows the dream is over. He's in trouble for murder. It's a very it is. I can see why it is banned. I think that is important for kids to know how things were in this time that it was set, because racism was an issue. We had slaves, and I don't think that is any reason to not let children read it. The profanity, I understand. The murder, and it's a very interesting book. I can see why it's banned, but there's a lot of people who believe that it shouldn't be banned for the reasons of that children need to hear about these things. Children, they need to know how it was in the time. There's a lot of parents that don't. A lot of board committees and parents have protested letting teachers teach it in classroom because of the profanity and how it's curse word after curse word on pages. And I understand that. I understand that children in middle school should not read things like that. But I think the upper grades, maybe 11th and 12th, I don't see why they shouldn't. It's a very interesting book. I think it's a very important piece of literature that children should be able to read.